Hi guys, and welcome back to Honey We're Home. I'm Caroline Crawford Patterson.
And I'm Nicole Spookagrino.
Oh my god, happy Halloween season. We ended last episode saying that we would come back to you guys with some Halloween costume ideas.
Yes.
And we are not one to go back on our word.
Well, we actually
all the time.
We are.
No, we go back on our word very frequently. But today, we're not.
Today, we're not. There are a lot of things. I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh, we don't do anything we say we're going to do.
Truly, the amount of things we say, oh, we should do that. We'll definitely do that. Like the charity thing,
Oh my god, I forgot.
Like linking certain things in the show notes.
We'll don't
get
make
better.
me feel bad in the moment. Yeah, that's...
We'll get better, you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so Halloween costumes. I kind of brainstormed on like the child front just because this episode is about fatherhood, which got my baby wheels spinning. Did you do couples ideas or?
It's like as if you smoked weed before this.
Why?
You were speaking really slow, which is so unlike you. But I kind of liked it.
I think it's because I'm parched. You said this about the episode when I was like kind of still drunk. You were like, I like you better this way.
Yeah, I kind of like the vibe, the chill vibe.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm parched and just went to acupuncture before this.
Oh, that's what you're still in chill mode. Meditation
no, I
mode.
was staring at the wall the whole time. Like, when is this over?
Anxious? Oh, that sucks.
I don't like going in the middle of the day. Like,
yeah, it's like just morning.
I recommend either before your day starts or after it ends. But yeah, I had a lot of stress. She was like, you're going to hurt. So that's nice.
My blood pressure at the doctor's yesterday was very high.
Yeah, she literally told me, I mean, I can't blame her. It's true. She was like, what's wrong? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, your shoulders look so big right now because you're so stressed. Like, she could tell.
The shoulders.
I was like, oh God.
I would cry. Okay, back to Halloween costumes. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, the Parenthood ones are fun that you put down. What did you come up with?
You want me to go? Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of thought that if you did a group of friends, like I have some friends where everybody in the group like has kids kind of around the same age. So I was like, if you wouldn't, and I grew up doing cul-de-sac parties for Halloween, like when your parents like sat at the end of the cul-de-sac with like a folding table with the buckets of candy.
I love
the
a
kids
cul-de-sac party.
Could go trick or treat in the neighborhood, but the parents would be at the cul-de-sac, one group pot for like the kids. Now, when your kids are obviously very small, they can't go around the neighborhood yet, but you could do a group costume with your friends. So I was like, if you dressed all the babies in the group up as an Inside Out 2 character.
No, that's really cute.
It would be really cute.
It's family friendly.
It is. And then the other one that I said for like parents with the baby is if the baby was the Pillsbury Doughboy or like girl, because I feel like babies are like doughy and it's easy just in a diaper.
So cute.
And then the parents are the bakers because you like whipped up your baby. You
Easy.
baked it.
You can do it last minute. You can make it your own.
And if you're pregnant with your second baby, you could have a bun in the oven. The baker that had a bun in the oven and the little Pillsbury Doughboy.
You dress up as an oven. And
well, yeah, that one too. But the Pillsbury Doughboy is like has a baker.
Yeah, who
makes them at the end of whatever lane situation.
Oh.
There's a nursery rhyme that goes with this. It's a whole thing.
Baker's Lane. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Baker's
burping
Lane.
up my Lenwich salad that I had before this.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's really cute. And also I love a baby dressed in like a fluffy costume. Like my mom dressed me as a devil when I was a little baby.
Oh my God.
And and it was like a pink fluffy like costume with devil ears.
That's cute. My mom used to make all my costumes.
Really?
Yeah.
My friend's mom made our costumes.
I make all my costumes still to this day. I enjoy it.
Well, okay, so that kind of leads me to
your couple's costumes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you had a fun couple's costume.
I said couch rotters. I was like, one person dresses up as the couch and the other dresses up as some like a rotted potato.
That's
like
fun.
Rot. Yeah.
So, I've never, surprisingly, you would think that I'd be one to like love a gimmicky costume.
You're a sexy costume gal yourself.
Well, no, I'm not. No.
Last year?
Wrong.
No.
I'm not a sexy costume.
Okay, says the girl in the skin tight
that wasn't
onesie
sexy.
Last year.
Okay,
but the goal.
That was actually like the quote sexiest, if you want to call that sexy. That was a quote sexiest I've ever gone. I'm like a true theatrical costume girl. Like Mike wishes I would do a little sexier. Like one time he wanted us to be Peaky Blinders and he wanted me to be like the woman from the show and him to be the man. And I insisted on dressing up as a man with him. So that I like to be like embracing the character.
That's
like
actually so funny.
No, truly, we were two men. He was like, really? And I was like, yes. I was Arthur. I had a mustache on. I had a pocket watch and a
I gotta see.
And I'll pull up a photo right now.
That really is some true.
And Mike
I feel like that's
are we
middle child energy.
Yeah.
It's like
it really is. It really is.
It's like true tomboy energy. I really like it. Okay.
So the thing with Halloween costumes is everybody's like, oh, I need something unique. I need something not basic. It's like when we were having the traveling episode and I said, you know what? People travel to these destinations because they are touristy, because they are popular, because they are good.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with a Halloween costume. The reason why a lot of people do it is because it's a good costume.
Yeah.
So don't stress over being, quote, basic, because you can still be a costume and really execute it like really the right way and do it really well and make it your own. So for example, I think we're going to see a lot of Beetlejuice and Lydia Beetlejuices this year because of the movie. I haven't actually seen the new movie. I don't know when it comes out. I need to look into that.
Sometime soon.
But I do think that can be a really cool costume. I might honestly try to make us do that.
I like the next one too, and I love the one after that.
So Gomez and Morticia Addams, that's a costume that I've always wanted to be. Every year I almost do it, and then we end up doing something else.
Somebody asked me to be Morticia in like a group costume once.
Do it. Never say
no.
no.
Like long straight hair or whatever, but I was just not vibing with that.
You could spray paint it black. Or not spray paint, but hair painted.
We did like Men in Black instead. John and I did.
That's fun.
It was just easy.
But you can really do Gomez and Morticia Addams well, and you can add on like a baby or a dog with like cousin.
Isn't Gomez short? If anybody is like married someone to a short king, honestly, take advantage. Okay.
And then this is one I always have wanted to do. This would be sexy, but whatever. Austin Powers or
the fembot.
Dr. Evil. Have the man be that and then the woman be the fembot, because I think that's just so
Austin
fun.
Powers gives me really creepy vibes. But if I brought this idea to John, because I love the idea of being a fembot, he would want to be Austin
Dr.
Powers,
Evil.
not Dr. Evil.
Yeah, he would make a great Austin Powers. I think it would be so funny to put your baby as Mini-Me, like the little bald Mini-Me, or in my case, I could make Louie Mini-Me somehow.
Okay, and then the next one's a classic. I could do this one. I've never thought about it.
The fact that you haven't done Fred and Daphne, Mike and I did it a couple years ago and really went all in and did it well. And it was so fun, so easy, so funny. Like I did a whole red wig with bangs. The fact that you haven't, you need to. You need to get bangs that match your hair.
Yeah.
Though.
Do you know what I just thought of this that I want to add in as a friend costume? Wicked.
Oh, that's gonna
Glinda
probably
the Good
be
Witch,
big this year.
and Elphaba. I think that you could make that really cute with mini dresses.
I also
and tights.
think. So speaking of making, if you're like one of those girls who's like, no, I'm not buying a Daphne costume. I want to make it my own. Blah blah blah. Remember we saw on TikTok somebody posted about the pirate and sea witch, which is what Mike and I did last year.
Leela Christina, I sent you her stuff because she's she's a fashion designer, and I guess she just loves Halloween, and she always does. If you're listening to this and you're like actually want to start thinking about Halloween but really cool creative stuff, Leela Christina, fashion designer, she does the coolest ideas, and she works really hard on these edits to give you a bajillion inspo images for her ideas for couples costumes and friend costumes, and I think it's like cool, and those videos are very underrated.
And those costumes, the ones that she posts, like the pirate and the sea witch, which it's a long story. I'm not really proud of my sea witch last year. The pirate looked great. Mike, you were with me. We got his whole costume at a thrift store. It was way too expensive for how much he wore it once. But my costume, it was my makeup. She, bless her heart, the makeup artist, I didn't give good direction. I had her paint me the color of this wall blue, like too blue.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it was giving Blue Man Group Smurf, but whatever. The pirate looked great. I think somebody else could execute that really well.
Lila, Christina, that girl, she had good inspo images.
Yeah.
If you wanted reference.
I went rogue.
And then your last one I feel like is easy.
Yeah, I think you could do a really cute like Bonnie and Clyde costume. Make this one your own. Get like vintagey thrift store pieces. I'm just not like cool enough for that, but I think one of you out there can do it.
For those of us that are a little less dedicated to the bit, it's a great one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so really quickly, let's do a rec of the week. But I felt like beginning of October, good time. We all need to be watching Nobody Wants This. Have you started? Because if you haven't started,
I went to the premiere.
Did you?
And I saw it before anybody else.
The whole series?
No, just the first 2 episodes, and I need to keep watching.
It's so good, and I'm jealous you went to the premiere. That's like actually
you
cool.
should come.
Well, you didn't invite me.
Next time.
John and I watch an episode every night. My mom was like, "You got to watch this," and everybody's talking about it. Adam Brody is the people's princess. Mm-hmm. People's prince, perhaps.
Well, and him and Kristen Bell's chemistry is off the charts.
I saw something that sums it up very well to me, which is Netflix finally figured out what rom-com and what series girls want to watch, and that is something interesting of a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Like I read that and I was like, this makes sense because the show is still very interesting. There are twists and turns. There are funny bits. It keeps you hanging on. But it's not toxic and it's not like anxiety inducing. And that's where I fade from TV shows where I'm like, listen, I don't want to watch things that give me anxiety about relationships. That's not enjoyable.
Yeah, and you can tell it's very like modern, realistic. It's based on Erin Foster's true story of meeting her husband.
Oh, I
so
like
that's
that.
Why. And she wrote it, I'm pretty sure, and I know produced it. But I also like that it's not high schoolers falling in love. Like, I'm done with all the rom-coms watching college kids and high schoolers. Like,
it's
I'm
done
31.
very well. Sometimes you ever see the discourse on like when movies or shows try too hard to be modern, where like they incorporate the COVID dialogue or they incorporate like the iPhone too much. It's like you almost think a rom-com should have like a flip phone in it, or like you shouldn't be DMing or mentioning Instagram, like,
or like very recent lingo.
It's like
TikTok.
too real.
Yeah.
And also all of the lingo, like you said, it really dissipates very quickly. Like it becomes like gross and icky and not a trend anymore. So by the time something comes out, you're like, this is cringy, not enjoyable. They like hit the nail on the head with like the right amount of timelessness in the show and then the right amount of like relativity.
Right. I need to pick it back up. It was really good. I was like, and for any Jewish people out there, it has really good Jewish representation.
It really does. And I saw an interview with the writer where she was like, yeah, like I think people want something digestible and fun, and this is meant to be fun. And like I really tried to sprinkle information about Judaism like throughout the show. So like here are bits and pieces you can pick up if you're looking to like learn a little bit more without you honestly even realizing it, and taking a very fun, lighthearted approach. And she was like, I think that's what the world needs right now, and I like it. Well,
I love it. Well, while you're watching Nobody Wants This, you can wear my rec of the week, which this is not sponsored, just plugging them for fun. Little pricey, so I'm sorry about that. But Frankie's Bikinis sweater sets. I'm not saying you need one in every color. Just treat yourself to one. I know you have one too. I just think like I'm reaching back for mine that I bought last season. I'm wearing it again this year, so that's always a good sign.
It holds up very well.
It holds up.
If anyone wanted to know,
they're really good work from home outfits. They're comfy. I wore my black one all day yesterday, running to doctor's appointments, running errands, then at home. Like, it works for running out. It works for staying in. It just is a good sweater set for this time of year, fall and winter, that makes you feel put together. But also comfy and like just chic and sexy.
I really like that.
Yeah. And I got their blue color.
I have the blue. I really like it.
The new blue.
The light pink is pretty too, though.
You have the cloud light blue, which is really pretty too.
Is that what it's called?
I like their new blue. It's almost like a periwinkle. And they have these like, what's the cable knit sweaters Like I got, instead of the zip up, because I already have the black in the zip up, I got the blue cable knit sweater. It's like a crew neck sweater. So I plan to wear that with jeans, with trousers. I plan to wear the heck out of that. They have that in light pink too, so I love a cable knit sweater. Caroline fully just took a pill while we're sitting here.
Yeah, I'm super sorry. This is like a little TMI, but it is a wreck of the week. I just had to actually buy this for my acupuncturist office because I'm out.
Can I have one? I don't even know what it is.
No. It's going to help you poop. Like, are you constipated?
No. God, no.
So don't take it. That's like a gentle bowel movement thing from Hilma, and I swear by it. I ran out of my magnesium. One thing that happens to me, I'm sorry, but like when I'm on my period, I get constipated. It's fine, but I've been out for a week and I like can't sleep. My back hurts. My mood is shit. I've been constipated.
When we say constipated, what do you mean? Like how long are you going without shitting?
It's not how long I'm going. It's like, because I did go a little bit yesterday, but
it's not a full.
Like my stomach hurts to touch.
Oh.
And I could not sleep because I was so uncomfortable.
That's the worst. Oh, actually, another quick rec pertaining to sleep. I did want to do this one as a rec, and then we'll move the fuck on. Okay, I don't know how they got my address, but NodPod sent me a package. It's this little weighted blanket thing that just covers your like torso, and you wear that on, and then an eye mask, a weighted eye mask thing that is formulated to touch the right points in your head that apparently triggers sleep. And I posted it on my story being like, thanks NodPod, excited to try this. I got a flood of DMs of people being like, oh my God, you'll never want to go back. You're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, all right, I really can't wait to try this. Past couple nights I've used it. I am out within seconds. I think it makes you fall asleep. That's the whole thing. Nice. It doesn't make you like stay.
Okay.
Or I mean, I slept through the night last night, but it's really worked for me. That and the Lemmy gummies. Like if you're like,
I want the Lemmy gummies, but anything magnesium. Every girl, I texted my family chat this morning, said there's no excuse for any woman on planet Earth to not be taking magnesium citrate. And I was like, I didn't realize how much it changed my life until I ran out. And this is the first time I've run out in probably 8 months. And my life is a living hellhole this week. I am not kidding you. Like, my muscles are tight and sore. My mood is terrible. My skin is terrible. I cannot sleep. I cannot go to the bathroom. And then coupled with like whatever, having period symptoms. Literally, the Hilma stuff is actually a miracle worker for that. But
Lemmy has magnesium in it. So I haven't been, but I'll have to try Hilma.
There's like a thing that like
Health vitamins.
There's like a thing like 80% of women have a magnesium deficiency. So it really adds up.
And I love a magnesium spray and lotion. Like I was about.
Like a mad woman last night. I was spraying the magnesium spray. I was slicked my stomach in it last night because I was in so much pain.
We need to like change the name of this podcast to magnesium.
Yeah. Anyways, do that. Yeah. And my ick of the week is that I can't be touched right now. Like when I'm PMSing, touching me. Like if John
feel that.
Touch me with the featherness of a light index finger, and I would be like, get off.
That is so spot on, actually. My
body shrivels.
No, truly. I don't know why it's always around this time when you hate your husband around your period. That's when Mike loves
I like
me
him
the
from
most.
6 feet away.
And he came up to me and hugged me in the stuffy bedroom the other day. I literally turned to him. I go,
it's already a little hot.
I said, I'm overstimulated. You need to get off.
That's what it is. It's overstimulating. Like everything shrivels. I tingle. I'm like, stop getting so close to me. It's inappropriate. Well, I need my space. And he wants to like joke and laugh, and he thinks it's funny, and it starts getting like goofy. And I'm like running away. Like I have before. I've like pushed him to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, I shove. Well, and for me, it's the touch, but also I'm realizing a lot of sound really overstimulates me. And it'll be when I'm either blasting, like getting ready and I'm blasting a podcast or music. If it's a podcast and I'm blasting it and it's someone else's voice, like ours, just like yapping on like loudly, and then Mike also comes over at the same time and starts talking and touching me.
Or the worst is they start listening to like a reel on like high volume. Go away with that.
So like in the future, if and when I add a baby crying to the mix and like Louis barking inevitably.
When your baby is like, what happens when your baby's like trying to breastfeed, but like you don't want to be touched?
I don't know, but all my mom friends say breastfeeding is treacherous, which leads
this
us
is gonna blow, bro.
To our episode.
This does lead us to our episode. We got a great email that prompted some incredible input from all of us, all of you guys, really, not us, because we're not yet parents, but neither is this listener. Do you want to read it and kick us off?
Sure, but you know I get panic attacks when I read. Okay. Hi, honeys. Wow, can't believe I'm emailing the pod. Love you guys so much. I'm writing in because I'm not sure if I want kids, and if so, I want to have them myself or foster/adopt. And my husband has always envisioned a happy, big biological family. We've been married for almost 2 years, and he is an amazing husband and always so selfless and caring. However, there are times when I feel like he still might have some maturing to do. I feel like he might not really know how hard having kids is, what it does to the female body, and truly everything that a woman sacrifices in having children. Do you have any advice for educating men on what it takes to have kids? Example, Dakota on
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, when Jen and her husband were giving him a trial run of newborn life. I feel like sometimes he doesn't understand my apprehension for having children and why we need to work out some of the kinks of our relationship now if we want to really be ready for all that raising a family entails. Thanks, honeys. Sincerely, men don't know shit about babies.
Okay, so this email was very relatable to us, I feel like, because it always seems like there's something. It's like the guys are very apprehensive, like, and we've learned a lot because of like the pressure to provide and like financial, or they think it's going to be like simpler, or they think that having a baby next year means that you'll talk about it next year.
Yeah.
Like they fail to calculate the getting pregnant part and the being pregnant part.
Yeah.
So we did take it to the audience just because we feel like this is a universal experience of lack of information.
Yeah. Well, and I think it comes down to maternal instinct. They call it maternal instinct for a reason because it's the mother, not father. Now, fathers do have a paternal instinct. And like you said, that's why we really leaned on the audience for this episode and this question, because we are not there yet. We want to make that very clear. We don't know. We don't know how we are as moms. We don't know how our husbands will be as dads. But one thing I can say is that women have that maternal instinct. We're built differently.
And a lot of the responses we got really led to this underlying like theme of nobody's ready, but your maternal instinct does kick in. So like from moms that wrote in, it's like the point is the maternal instinct that people are talking about, like it kicks in for you to just somehow know what to do and what's serious and what's not serious. And like your body just kind of starts to do things on its own. But since men don't have that same, or the baby doesn't have that same physical dependency on the father, that the paternal instinct takes a little bit longer to kick in.
Yeah.
And obviously what this submission is saying is like, yeah, this starts way before the pregnancy. Like, you know, it's not as simple as just like, oh, let's have a baby and we'll figure out the rest later. It is a super nuanced conversation.
Right. So let's see what the audience had to say. So we asked you guys, what are some of the funny things that your husbands and your partners just did not understand before having a baby and that they kind of like realized when having kids and becoming a father? So this person says, I literally just found out from a bestie that an epidural stays in you during labor.
I recently found that out when one of my good friends had her baby because the epidural came out during labor. And you lose it. When it comes out, you lose, like, because it disperses the medicine over the period of time that you're giving labor. So if the needle comes out, you stop getting the medicine. And then at some point you start feeling the pain again, and they cannot put it back in.
The thing, well, and that's, so this girl wrote in from her own point of view, like she literally just found this out, not her husband, so this is like an outlier, but it's funny because that's something like I wouldn't expect a woman or a man to know. Like that's something I literally didn't even really, I forgot about until now.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was in my sister's delivery room when she gave birth to her first, Callan, and I was there when she got the epidural, but I wasn't watching it go in. I kind of wish I had. And then I forgot, like I didn't see it in her after. And then she had to do an emergency C-section anyways, so it was pointless.
I think that, and now that we're discussing this, I think the beauty of this is like, you don't know what you don't know. So we're all going to sit here together and realize just how much we don't know. And then maybe that can inspire us to go get our asses up and learn a little bit more. Mm-hmm. This person said, my husband thought babies were born with teeth, like a full set of teeth.
That's terrifying to picture. I do.
For the sake of breastfeeding, that is terrifying to picture.
No, that's terrifying. I do feel like I've seen on TikTok before, like the rare oddity of a baby being born with teeth, but it's like a very rare situation. And they fall out.
Yeah, like imagine having a tooth floating in your womb left over.
No, that's scary.
Okay.
This person said he didn't know newborns eat every 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, you should know this before signing up to have a baby. You should know that though. Like that is a thing. And you cannot skirt around that necessity. I
think that's one of the things that he and obviously the mom should be learning during pregnancy, but I wouldn't expect you to know that before being pregnant.
But if you're saying like, oh, we can have a baby, it's chill, just add a third person into the mix. Like you should know
feeding
what
schedule.
It comes with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're sitting here thinking, oh, I definitely could see adding taking care of an infant into my day at this point. You should know what exactly taking care of an infant is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 to 3 hours is great. That's why parents say they don't sleep. You're not getting around that.
A big tip I actually feel like would help for that is get your man, like to that listener who's struggling with him, get him like around or in the midst of somehow of a newborn or a couple like tending to their newborn, just so they can literally observe the work. Yeah. Like, sorry to that couple who has to have like you guys over while they're tending to their newborn, but I don't know. I just feel like having our nephews has truly helped Mike just like see what goes into parenthood.
And if you don't have anyone, then just have him listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. The next person said, they did not know that pregnancy is technically 10 months. And then she said, I didn't even know that. It's 40 weeks. So, 40 divided by 4 is 10.
No, that's no.
Pregnancy.
Oh, it is. You're right. Wait. Okay. Madeline said this the other day. She's a mom. I was like, no, it's not. It's 9. Pregnancy is 9 months. And she was like, no, I mean, it's technically 10.
Because you go through your 9th month fully. And then, so like from week 36 to 40, it's like, the baby could potentially come. But
and sometimes the baby stays in longer. I do know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. Okay.
We're having a girl and he didn't know girls have 3 different holes down there. Now, this is ridiculous.
No, I think this is so funny because imagine him literally trying to change her diaper and being like, something's wrong.
An extra hole. Like, I'm sorry, are you 13? Like, health class.
I actually have so many questions for this person. Like, you made the baby with your wife. What did you think was going on down there?
Are we, yeah. Are we in, yeah. What?
You know what I mean?
Like, that they've been...
Like, there are a lot of things. Like, they skipped health class.
Conception? I don't know. Yeah.
Like, you thought everything came out of one hole?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's hilarious to me. That it's normal for newborns to cross their eyes, panicked and thought that they had a lazy eye.
That is something I've realized around
I didn't know
newborns
that.
lately. Their eyes are going all over the place. They are, one eye is straight, one eye is off, going rogue.
Yeah.
That my friends was doing that the other day, and
I
was
would
like,
freak out.
He good? I was like, she was like, yeah, it's just like getting used to his eyes, because apparently they don't see
They probably don't
objects.
have muscle control over them yet either.
Yeah, they're learning how to use their eyes.
This is so funny to me. Like if no one said that, I would have not known.
Yeah, I think they see black and white at that stage too.
Imagine being a teenager babysitting an infant and thinking that they were like possessed.
Yeah, they're like, and one eye was, I swear, one eye was going rogue.
That is crazy.
He didn't know you don't leave immediately after giving birth.
This is another thing where guys are like, yeah, we'll just have a baby. No, my guy. Like, you're going to be there for some days.
Yeah.
You don't just like, and also this implies you don't realize the toll it takes on the woman's body.
Right.
If you think you could shove a big head out and then 5 seconds later be like, hey, want to go get a marg?
Yeah.
Guys I'm going to say something and it's a little crude, but it's not really. Guys cannot even take a big poop without complaining how uncomfortable it is. What?
You know how they have simulators?
45 minutes. Like, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. You know how they have simulators for period cramps? I wonder, and if not,
For
somebody
labor.
invent this. Do they have a simulator for labor?
I mean, I have seen the strap-on belly for the guys to show them how much weight women carry around, and that alone takes them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, women, that's no secret. Women are way tougher than men.
Right. But you thought I was going to push out a bowling ball and go get a marg with you or go to happy hour and get a dirty martini.
And apparently, according to my mom friends, that time in the hospital after often is crucial because the nurses will come in and like literally teach you how to breastfeed and teach you how to swaddle.
It could take a week for your baby to learn how to latch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not leaving.
And like help you produce milk. I don't know.
Yeah, like your milk doesn't even come in. Your milk doesn't come in immediately. There's a lot of work after birth.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
From what we've seen.
Babies don't just sleep when they're tired. I think that this is kind of important to know because the fact, like, they don't just sleep at night. Like, you have to put your baby down and have them in a quiet space or whatever. Like, they sleep a million times throughout the day. So then they're awake a million times throughout the day. Like, their wake windows are not your wake windows.
Yeah.
I think it's just a simple one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This person said her husband thought a pap smear was with the titties. LMAO.
The part I didn't type in here is she said that until they went for the 7-week scan. Like, he thought they were going in for a pap smear and was like, they're going to put it on your boobs.
Classic mix-up, though, because when they do a pap smear, don't they check you and your breasts? Which also...
No, a pap smear is just the inside of your uterus.
I know, but don't they, like, in the same exam, they also do a...
Well, why would he know that? He's never gone in for a pap smear.
True, I don't know.
What do you think they were just rubbing?
I don't expect him to know pap smear necessarily.
I know, but I just think that's so interesting to relate any sort of test in pregnancy to feeling the boobs.
Which, not to be depressing and a buzzkill, but I do feel like lately we're seeing a lot of, unfortunately, young people get diagnosed with breast cancer these days.
Yeah,
and this
get checked.
Is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So definitely do your self-examinations and go get checked because...
I need to do one this month.
Same.
This one really killed me. He thought only boy babies had umbilical cords and that they were associated with their penises. That is just a real...
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually... I just can't. Okay.
This person thought that... They didn't know how long the baby wouldn't sleep through the night for.
Yeah, like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a long time. Yeah, that's sweet.
That's just like you're getting hit with a ton of bricks.
But imagine them being like, yeah, I'm ready to have a baby. And then be like, why won't it sleep through the night?
Like, why isn't
I tried to tell you this was no easy feat. Oh, that's a rough one. Okay. Didn't know that all mothers lactate. Basically thought you could just turn it off if you didn't want to breastfeed.
Not all mothers, though. Some women can't.
Yeah, some women, their milk doesn't come in, but it does, but just not enough to provide the right amount of milk for the baby.
Yeah. But
okay. That's
funny. He's like, not all.
Yeah, this one's funny.
My husband didn't know he had to be in the room during birth. Hey, honey, I'm going to go hit a quick 9 holes. You got this? I would literally.
So I don't know, like, are we not all operating on the same page? Because whenever I see a man do something that I'm not putting up with, I look John directly in the eye and I say, I'll kill you. I just say it, and he's like, I know. Like, I don't need to provide any more context. Whenever a man underperforms as a husband, I just give John the look. I hope you know I'd kill you.
The thing about me and Mike is I make him come with me to like 95% of any appointments I go to, and I make him come into the room with me. And some like I feel like that's not normal. Like the doctors are probably like, why is he here with you? But like, especially if I don't even like to go to the freaking doctor alone, why do you think I would like to give birth alone, you know?
Yeah. I tell John things all the time. He's like, I can't leave work like for lunch or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, you're going to be leaving for a baby appointment. So just so we're on the same page.
The baby appointments, you're going to be there.
Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't know if you're laying the groundwork for being like, I'm busy for an ultrasound, but it's not going to work. And we might as well let that be known right here in this very moment.
Yeah, you're going to be there.
Okay.
But some can't, and I feel bad because, some husbands are off traveling for work or working on an oil rig.
And that's sad. But if they're down the street, I don't care who your meeting's with.
If they're
you're not going to
home boy, you guess you're working from office.
This person said not even a dad yet, but he thought that the number on diapers was the amount of diapers, not the size.
Okay, I don't. Oh.
No, like their diaper sizes.
No, this I don't fault him for because I've changed a billion diapers from my nephews and I never have seen a number.
Diaper size.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like very simple. It has months and sizes.
It's not just like, like 3 to 6 months.
But also sizes. You got to know what number size your baby is for their diaper.
Is it on the physical diaper?
On the outside bag.
Box? The box?
Yeah, on the box.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This person is my favorite because it's the biggest red flag for my husband. Thought it would be like a dog. Yeah. I mean, you've heard me say the biggest red flag is that Mike always tries to be like, oh, when we have a baby, like Nikki will probably be with the newborn more and I'll just take over the dog responsibilities more. And I'm like,
no, Mike does actually dead ass say that.
Yeah.
And I think it is so funny. Like, I'm so excited that you have a dog and you're a good dog dad and you are very sufficient in it.
But it don't be the same.
It is not tomato, my friend.
Yeah.
These are all really funny. So we'll speed up so we can get through them.
Yeah.
Didn't know that we couldn't leave the house if the baby was asleep in the crib. We got, I kid you, dozens like this one. Wanted to leave the baby in the room on vacation to go to dinner. Thought they could just go down the street.
Recently.
None of the dads knew. Like, they actually were like, well, once the baby's asleep, we can go out to dinner.
That's terrifying.
Just like thought they could. I think that's so, like, because I could never imagine. That seems like basic knowledge, and this is why I like this game, because it's obviously not.
Yeah.
It's too funny. Okay.
This person said her husband didn't know that babies don't have knees. He poked our nephew's leg and was grossed out. I really didn't fully know that either. Babies
I learned that
knees?
through this submission. This person's that he asked her if men could get postpartum depression, which I think is,
I'd be like, goodbye.
It's like when Winston got Menzies in New Girl, which you don't know what I'm talking about, but like he thought that he could catch PMSing from Jess. Like,
no,
you can see your way out.
Literally, it's a hormonal thing that
I'm so sorry. Like, you're gonna have to take care of that one. If you're feeling down and out after the baby's born, you're gonna have to go take care of that one on your own.
Yeah, that's on you, buddy.
I can't lift you up. I can't lift you up, feed the baby, and lift myself up.
No,
it's not gonna happen. Yep. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. Okay.
This one says that he thought sits baths were SIDS baths and used to prevent SIDS.
I think that's one for our mom friends out there. Because I don't really know what a sitz bath is.
Yeah, what the fuck is a sitz bath?
I know what SIDS is.
Is it when the baby's sitting in the bath?
Oh, that would be really funny.
Like,
Sitz.
is it that little bath that you put them in before, like, putting them fully in the bath? Like, when they're little?
Can you imagine, though? Because SIDS is very dangerous. Can you imagine if your husband thought each one of those baths was to prevent SIDS? Like, how detailed they would be in the bath, how stressed, how anxious.
Did I ever tell you about the invention? Oh, I'll save that for another time.
Okay. This person said that their husband did not know you cannot give kids aspirin. That is a dangerous thing not to know, and also just funny. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, before my kid is getting any sort of medicine, I'm like Googling the fuck out of that. / asking a professional, not just Google.
Okay, this next one we actually got a lot of.
He thought you left from the hospital holding the baby. He didn't know you needed a car seat to leave. And he doesn't understand that babies always need car seats.
The second one was a second submission. Someone was like, my husband doesn't understand that babies always needs car seats. Followed it by saying, he's like, well, we're just going down the street. Like, we'll just hold the baby.
No.
Like, in the first one, she was like, I'm like, okay, we gotta get a car seat, before the baby's born. And they're like, what do you mean? You just carried the baby home from the hospital. The hospital will not let you leave until you show them that your car seat is strapped in, right? Like, isn't that a thing? I thought it was like a thing. Like, you have to.
I mean, I didn't even. Are men okay?
I don't know. In my head, I'm like, it's got to be in because you got to take it to the fire department because they'll check it for you and make sure.
Oh, we do that? See, that's something I wouldn't know. The fire
That's
department?
where my brain is. I'm like, we're going to the fire department to get them to check the car seat.
To make sure it's
And then someone else
in.
is sitting there like, and I'm just going to sit in the back and hold the baby.
No.
So
Sir, no.
funny.
No, sir.
Husband thought infant son could instinctively swim in the pool just like the womb.
No, that's borderline arrest worthy. What?
I think what happened is he saw that. Has anyone seen
Water
the video?
birth?
No, has anyone seen the video of the infant swim coach or life coach where they like throw the baby? I feel like he saw that video and was like, yeah, babe.
That'll be fine.
They just swim.
No, when babies are forced to go into like swim lessons, it's so scary. But like, I get why people do it.
I do too. I mean, I would too because my parents live near water, so it's very important. Water safety is very, very important. Okay, we have two more.
Okay, this person said he didn't know the no sex for 6 weeks after birth rule, which
I don't know if a lot of men know that. Does Mike know that?
No, but also, is that a definite for everyone? I don't fully know that.
I'm pretty sure it's extremely painful for you if you do it.
Yeah. Well, and it's
like
longer
I've heard you
if you get a C-section.
Longer.
Right?
And I heard once you get the all clear, sometimes women are like, I still don't
want
okay.
you down there. Yeah, because some women's badges
but infections or the infection, because if it's most people tear, so the infection risk I think is pretty high. I don't know. We'd have to fact check that.
Yeah, like you can do without it for 6 weeks.
This is making my body actually want to curl up and hide. The last one is how little that they move newborns, and that you won't actually play with the baby for quite a while, which transitions us into the advice portion where we're going to wrap up this episode because we feel like it's not helpful to just say all the funny things that men don't understand.
Right.
We thought it would be helpful to get some information from moms out there about what helped their partners finally click into fatherhood or help them realize like the extent seriousness of it all, or like what helped apprehensive partners be at peace with entering into fatherhood. And this last tip about, or this last little submission about, you don't actually get to play with the baby for a bit was oddly relative to the what am I looking for? The paternal instincts kicking in.
Somebody said that babies are super needy, but they're also like boring. No offense. At that time.
Like there was a resounding information about the 6 month resounding information about the 6 month mark for fatherhood, and that kind of being where like most moms that submitted were like, yeah, around 6 months. I think my husband like finally got it, realized, tapped in, clicked in. The first girl said, Ty, my husband's an excellent father, but he struggled in the beginning because newborns are so needy and boring. That's what you were referring to. At the same time, around 6 months, that changed. And that was the first one. And then someone else said, I think for many men, my husband included, it didn't click until the baby was born and here.
Yeah. That I feel like, I mean, again, I can't speak on this because I don't have my own, but like that's what I've heard from a lot of people. It's like the dads either just are stupid leading up and kind of click into action and they're like, oh, now this baby is here. Like I think women just in general have a better ability most of the time to just think ahead and plan ahead more than men and foresee the future, versus men are very like action oriented in the here and now. So that makes sense.
Someone submitted something a little longer that kind of summed this up a little bit better, and she said definitely not until the baby was here did it click. Women become a mom as soon as you get the positive pregnancy test, which is something we've said on this show before. You feel the nausea and the kicks and the physical effects long before the baby is born, and he doesn't. So the newborn era is hard, especially because I breastfed. There was a lot more burden on me. It wasn't intuitive for him. And early hormones are wild. There was resentment, which I hear from friends is a common thing, but not talked about sentiment. Honestly, my husband became a much better father at about 6 months because the baby could interact more with him. And it wasn't as much an extension of mom, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I got that.
Well, I also feel like that's why you see with families of two, you see a lot of the times when the second child is born, like the mom really bonds with that second child and the father like really gets bonding time with the first child, because at that point they're like a toddler. And I saw a TikTok the other day that was like children get oxytocin from like a lot of oxytocin from playing with their fathers, but then the same amount of oxytocin from playing with their mothers or from cuddling with their mothers.
Oh, fun.
Which I don't know, is on a freaking Instagram reel, so let's not take that as
where
scientific
we get all of
fact.
our important information.
Right, but that makes sense. Like I don't know, it makes sense that like fathers would be really good toddler dads, but not as much like newborn. But then again, like for that, to her point about like leading up, he was a little spacey and whatnot, but then like the baby was born and he was great. I feel like the best thing, at least, again, can't speak on this, but when I am pregnant one day, I'm going to tell Mike the way he can help is feeding me, filling up my water bottle, like making sure I am comfortable and have the things I need to be fostering a healthy environment for that baby.
In the first 6 months, if you have to provide the baby with all the nutrition just because you're the woman, then he can help by helping you.
Yes.
So he can provide for you.
Cook, grocery
what
shop.
I took away from this more than anything was not necessarily anything that helps to like prevent this from happening, but just more of like a little comfort in the fact that everybody's going through this. Like the resentment is normal. If the first 6 months aren't what you thought they would be, if it's hard, if you feel like there's an imbalance in the parenting, if you feel like something's not clicking, that everyone is saying this, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it's not everyone, but if you are feeling it, it's like A, it gets better. B, you're not the only one. C, there are probably a lot of reasons why it's happening, and none of them are related to him not caring or him not being ready for fatherhood. Mm-hmm. And like, just knowing that this is something that, as shameful or whatever you maybe and hopefully don't feel about this, like if you probably went to a friend that also just gave birth and said this out loud, that they would actually probably be like, yeah, me too. I just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. I actually would love to do at some point, again, not with just us two, because we really cannot speak on this subject, but with somebody who's an expert on it or has gone through it or what have you, an episode about postpartum depression, because I could imagine at that time, like if you are going through postpartum depression, it's probably, I can't imagine, it's probably so freaking hard. But also that's when you're probably like, my husband, like you're rethinking your husband because he's not being good with the baby, and you're like, I don't know. I just, but like
someone
you said,
did say that the first 6 months was like the hardest on their marriage out of any point in their marriage so far.
I could so see, especially for like, I don't know, I could see that happening. Like people like me who get like really stressed easily. But like you said, it's these feelings are all normal. You're not the only one feeling the way that you might be feeling. And I think this was just like a funny episode because it's just funny.
One girl did give us like a takeaway in this capacity that I feel like is helpful, and we could just end the episode on it. But she said, give them time and grace. Remember that they aren't programmed exactly like us, which is a summation of everything everyone's saying. But she said, but do not be afraid to call them out. Kindly let them know what you need and why. And I really like that as a takeaway, because just because they don't get it doesn't mean you're not allowed to get them to get it. Like, hello, you need to get this. Kindly be like, listen, you're not showing up in this way.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be aggressive and mean, but you also don't have to keep it to yourself. You don't have to accept it as a fact of life and just be like, that's fine. I'll just hate you for 6 months. You'll just sit here and do nothing. Feel empowered to speak up and say something. Maybe it's about how you say it more than what you say.
Totally.
And also at the same time, know that like it will get better.
Right. Like, moms out there, you may be the captain of this ship because you physically pushed out that little baby octopus. I don't know. I was trying to use like a nautical reference, but you may be the captain of the ship, but you still need to delegate the, what's the secondhand ship?
I don't know. I just know the word ship hand.
Ship hand. Maybe that is what it's called.
I could do the references like a chef and a sous chef.
Oh, that would have probably been a better one. Chef and a sous chef. And you got to let that sous chef know when he's not performing. And
what they need to do to change. I think for me, this is probably harder than it looks, because if I'm thinking about my hormones now, I have no idea what they'll be after having a baby, where like I could be like, oh my God, I don't think he's doing a good job. And then I might psych myself out of it and be like, no, it's just my hormones.
Yeah.
Like, actually, maybe it's not. Actually, it's okay to say, you got to do better. And this is what I need and why.
Yeah.
But then again, with the time and grace thing, because like eventually it'll click, but that doesn't mean that you can't expect more of them in the first 6 months.
Right. So thank you guys for listening. I, again, just want to say like mad respect to all the moms out there going through all of this. Again, we're not there yet, but you guys ask us to talk about it sometimes. So when
the strength to listen to what some men say.
Yeah.
And not be like, what is the thing? Boys come from Jupiter to get more stupider.
Girls go to Mars.
Mars to Venus.
What? I don't know. But but I do think like I want to be very clear. Like we're just talking about this stuff because we are 30, 31 years old. We are in that phase of life of family planning, thinking about the future. We do have a lot of moms that we're super grateful that you guys listen to us. So like, thank you for giving us a space to talk about this, because we are excited for the future and going through this ourselves. But also, like, again, we ain't no experts. So,
and obviously, these episodes don't exist without you. So
yeah,
it's nice for us to be able to learn something from you too.
I learned so much.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
And I hope the listeners out there that are the same as us, don't have kids yet, but thinking about it, got something from this episode.
Truly. And we're excited for you to tune back in next week. We love you guys.
Mwah.
Stay hot, honeys.